Hello, welcome to week 4 discussion post worldview and identity. This is Chad Murray. This week's topic is our reflection on 1 Corinthians 8 through 10. The version that I chose to try to interpret was the NIV version, and I bring that up because when I first read this through the English Standard Version that was linked on Canvas, I didn't understand any of it. Completely lost. I just had no clue what I was reading. After opening up the NIV version, right there underneath chapter 8 was an explanation of what I was reading. Paul's letters to the area of Corinth, a newly formed church that is going through a drastic worldview change. Then the verses started to make more sense to me. Then after that, what still didn't make sense to me was why people were eating sacrificed meats. And I believe this is because of the abundance of food we all enjoy today. We get to be very picky on what we eat and with very little concern. If there's something that, if we are weak-minded about anything, then we're just not going to eat it. I'm sure back in Corinth, the sacrificed meats were cheaper, or you didn't want to waste any if this was your own livestock, and so it'd be kind of like going to the bargain market, and so that made it make a little more sense to me. Don't know if it's correct, but that's my interpretation. Which leads to an appealing aspect of this passage was the concern for the neighbors, or as Paul called them, the weak-minded. So you can eat the sacrificed meats unless it offends who you're with, and not really for your own concern, but to if you're going to follow God, you're not going to want to let your neighbor stumble, and this could be a possible way for them to do that. This appealing aspect to me led to the surprising aspect, how Paul explains, do this unless, and then all of a sudden he starts pointing out what happened to the people in the past, that the Israelites that just completely fell despite them walking with God. And I think how I interpreted this was, it's kind of a warning that there's, in this gray area, there's a slippery slope, and you do not want to fall down it, as in the passages, as the example of the 23,000. So that's my take on it. Look forward to listening to your guys' videos, and look at that, kept it under 4 minutes.